Next concept we're going to talk about is our Snag Concept, and there's some spread teams, some different teams that run this. Certainly nothing that I came up with, but something that's been very good for us and something that I'm glad we put in a couple years ago. And so how we run it might be a little different than how other people run it, but what we've tried to do is find what works for us and what gives us the advantage that we need and complements the other things that we do. So our Snag Concept is a three-man concept. So we look at this as we've got a two-man side and a three-man side. It is a five receiver concept for us. With our Snag Concept on the two-man side. On the two-man side, we are going to run a snag with number one, which is essentially a slant stop. You will see that here shortly. And we are going to bubble number two. On our three-man side, number one is going to run a snag. Number two is going to run a sail. And number three is going to run a bubble. So we've toyed with the progressions. We've done different stuff. We've went bubble, snag, sail. We've done some different stuff. We've ended up having the most success. We're looking from snag to bubble to sail to backside. And the only time that we really throw bubble immediately is a pre-snap. Or if we motion and see that we've got leverage out there, we may throw the bubble pre-snap. But then once we get into our progression, we're going snag to bubble to sail to looking backside. So this is what this looks like here. We've got a three-man side here, so we've called 70 snag, which means that we're looking to the right first. This is our three-man side. This is our two-man side. So as we look, snag, we are going to run a slant stop. What we want to do with number one is we want to work to come shallow. Our aiming point is going to be 6 yards deep. 6 yards deep is what we tell our guys, but we don't ever want to go over the top of this linebacker. So if that linebacker is at 6, we better be at 5. If that linebacker is at 4, we better come at 3. We want to make this linebacker come over the top of us or through us. So that's our aiming point. And when we practice and when we rep it as 6, in reality, it's based on where that linebacker is. Number 2, we're going to run a sail route. So what we want to do is we want to climb vertical, sell that we are going vertical, and then we're going to break that thing off and try to get behind the corner and away from the safety. This may look different every time we do it. Depending on if the corner tries to jump something, we may have a lot more room in there. If the corner sits, it may look a little bit more like a corner route. But we call it a sail because he's got the ability to sail out there and find out wherever that opening is. Get out there and let's find that. And then number 3, it becomes our super back. So we're going to bubble from out of the backfield, really turn, sprint hard for 5 steps, get out there as fast as we can. So there's our 3-man side. Our 2-man side is a snag and a bubble. So again, we're running the exact same thing. So we're going to try to get past this linebacker. One of the coaching points that has really helped our guys is we tell them once they cross this linebacker's face that they should sit their feet down. So what that allows us to happen is if this linebacker is to see bubble and fly out, now we sit in the opening before the inside linebacker can come out and rob anything. Or if we continued to go through, we would have the opportunity to get stopped in there. So that's been something that's really happened to us. So what we tell our super back, so they help it understand if we are in 2x2, we swing to it. So 2x2, we swing 2.